Mark Skaar on KW Morning Conversation. I'm very proud to welcome back Mr. David Paich. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you this morning?
I'm doing wonderful. And again, I want to congratulate you on Forgotten Toys, your first solo endeavor. This is wonderful, and congratulations.
Well, thank you. It's been a long time coming. And I'm finally able to put it out, and I hope people enjoy it for seeing another side of me.
Yeah, and I want to talk about a couple things. Spirit of the Moonrise was the first song we heard from this, and you hear the unmistakable voice of Michael McDonald and others on this. Tell me about that song and a little bit about the background there.
That song came from, it was inspired by a reoccurring dream that I had about a girl riding a painted horse beneath the moonlight. So Joseph Williams, my co-producer and bandmate, helped me frame it and put it into a form and structured it with me. We called in Steve Lukather to play the lead on it, and he did a great job. And Mike McDonald, as we say, an old-time friend from way back, and he was raring to go to do it. So it was a great record. It's kind of a Fleetwood. I'm a big Fleetwood Mac fan, so it's kind of got that kind of rolling tempo.
That riff is infectious in that song.
Oh, thank you.
Queen Charade was then the second thing we heard. Tell me a little bit about that one. Don Felder's on there and Steve Jordan.
Don Felder's on there, and there was a Tchaikovsky opera called Queen of Spades. It was about an obsessed gambler. So I kind of loosely based it on that. And the other inspiration for it was I got to play on Keith Richards' solo record, Cross-Eyed Heart, and I got to meet him, and Steve Jordan, who's in the Stones right now, played drums on it. And it was just a kind of a magical pinch-me moment.
Talking with David Paich about Forgotten Toys, and I think on the day of release last Friday, David, you released a video for Will I Belong to You?
That's right. I believe that's our new single, too, and it has a little visualizer video with it, and I hope that everybody enjoys that.
Nathan East, Greg Bissonette, and once again, your friends Joseph and Steve play a prominent role in that song.
They sure do. They sure do. I try and keep my family near me here. You know what I mean? So when you're insecure, you reach for the security blanket, and that's my teammates, you know.
And so these songs were obviously have been around in some way, shape, or form for a long time. I'm sure you maybe demoed them and didn't finish them, and now they've come to fruition.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. You know, some of them were just pieces of a musical puzzle that we had to figure out what the picture was. And other things, like you said, we demoed a couple of them and laid some blueprints down for the musicians to recreate and put their creativity onto it.
Talking with David Paich, and I'd like to get into the artwork a little bit. When you get into the booklet, because like I was telling David before we started rolling here, I actually have the CD, and I like the bear on the Motorola turntable of the piano. That's pretty cute.
Oh, thank you. That's all due to my wife, who had this vision in her mind about all these little collectibles and heirloom toys that she's had for years. And some of them belong to me, some belong to my father, and some belong to her. But she set up that whole shot and visualized it and conceived it herself, and with the bear on the little turntable, too. So that's where that inspiration came from. It was kind of fond after the movie To Kill a Mockingbird, where it opens with the scene with the cigar box with the little toys in it. So that was the inspiration.
And you got some little instrumentals to start and end this record, David. You got Forward and Lucy.
Yeah, I always wanted to put something cinematic in there, so I put a little 20-second forward in there for my friend James Newton Howard and Jerry Goldsmith and John Williams, who I admire very much. And then there's Lucy, which is kind of paying homage to my father, who was a jazz pianist. And I brought in Mel Torme's son, because Mel Torme and my father did classic albums together, and he came in and sang backgrounds and did some scatting on Lucy.
Talking with David Paich, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about your daughter, Elizabeth. She's also on this record.
She is on the song First Time, which is the song is about her coming of age. And she's now a young woman, and I hope that she finds true romance like I did with my wife. I've been married 37 years, and she just snuck into the studio without even asking me and threw her voice on, did some answers on the choruses to First Time, and it surprised me in a very good way. Just melted my heart, you know.
and All the Tears That Shine. Some Toto fans will know that song, and this version is different because it features the late Mike Sherwood.
That's right. It was on Toto 14, but I wasn't quite satisfied with my vocals, so I wanted everybody to hear how it really sounds by putting out the first vocal Mike Sherwood did on it, which is very passionate and compelling, and I think he did a great job on it. It's important for people to hear that version.
So Forgotten Toys, David Paich, it's out now. Please grab it. I wanted to just talk about a couple things, couple songs you did for Toto that maybe a lot of people don't talk about, because a lot of people always want to talk about Africa and Hold the Line. I love those songs, but one of the songs I want to talk about was on the 7th one, and that's Home of the Brave, which features some of your vocals on it.
Yeah, that was a song, kind of an anthemic song, and we brought the great and legendary Jimmy Webb in to co-write lyrics with us on that. And again, I had the body of the song, and then Steve Lukather came up with a nice middle riff there that just takes it into a totally different direction. And that was an example of a collaborative effort between myself, Joseph Williams, Steve Lukather, and Jimmy Webb. And it's great to collaborate with Jimmy Webb on that.
There's an amazing live version. I think my favorite live version is on the Poland, the Live in Poland disc. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, that was a magical show, and I think we documented that on film, and I'm glad we did.
Also, you mentioned Toto 14. I love that record, and Right Expectations has some of your vocal work on it too. And what an amazing piece!
It does, and that's kind of a challenging piece. We were big fans of kind of the progressive rock thing and coming out of England, and Gus had a big influence on our band, and we wanted to do something that was an extended work. So I had a couple of little pieces here. Joe had a couple of pieces, and Luke had a piece, and we kind of attached them all together and made a single thought here, and I'm really happy the way it turned out.
Yeah, and I saw you back in 2015, and you actually played that piece on tour with Yes.
Did we? That was very challenging, that song, and I'm glad you saw that, because you get it. You know what I mean? That Yes was on the bill with us, and we were playing our Great Expectations. I'm glad you were able to see that.
Talking with David Paich, I wanted to ask you something going way back that I read recently. There is a Jeff Porcaro, I guess it's a biography, and I thought it said in there, when you were looking for a vocalist for Toto, that Leo Sayer was being considered. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. We were doing record dates with all kinds of people. So every time we heard a great singer, we'd say, would you be into being in a band? So we love Leo Sayer, so we asked him if he'd be the singer in our band, and he was very flattered, but he had to decline. And I actually asked Mike McDonald to be in the band, too, but he had just signed with the Doobie Brothers a week before I was able to call him and ask him to join us. So we've known Mike for a long time, and but I'm happy the way the band turned out. Bobby Kimball did a great job on the first 4 albums, and we made some history.
The last time we spoke back in June, it was just before your birthday, and I know you had the occasion to go over and play with Toto and surprise the guys.
Oh, yeah. That's always fun to do, to show up and surprise the guys. It's like a high school reunion we have, so we still get along, all of us, and it's been a great ride.
David, do you think there will be more solo records?
Time will tell, you know. I just finished this one, and I'm going to be collecting things and starting to write some new things here probably this next year, and hopefully there will be.
Great. Looking forward to it. David Paich, Forgotten Toys. David, thank you and congratulations.
Well, thank you, and I want to thank all of our fans out there for their loyal support. We're very grateful and blessed to all the people that have supported us all these years. So thank you. You know who you are.
For David Paich, I'm Mark Skaar on KW Morning Conversation.